after we have created name 1, name 2, text 1, text 2, button go 1, go 2. So go 1 will lead us to view controller 1, go 2 will lead us to view controller 2. When we go to view controller 1 using go 2, we will take the name 1 with us, and we'll do the same with go 2. So let's start from here. Right click and create a new file. We will create a new class for the view controller. So let's take the Touch class here. Next, make sure it's subclass of UI view controller. Then you can change the name 1, view controller 1. Next, create, and right click in new file, another Touch. Next, make sure it's subclass of UI view controller and change the name to create. Now as I have both of them, let me go to the main storyboard. In the main storyboard, we already have one view controller. I will create a new view controller from the object library. View controller. This is the view controller. Let me take it here. Now, the most important thing for this view controller is to link it with its class. Let me link it with view controller 1. Now here I'll put a text, I'll put a label. In this label, I'll just write something to indicate the view controller. So here, view controller 1. And let me put a text field to show what I want to show, which is the name, without border and not enabled. Another view controller, so go to the object library, view controller, this one I have to choose its class, which is view controller 2, and I'll do the same. Get a label as a title, view controller 2. Let me get a text field. Text field here without border and not enabled. Now we have the two view controllers. What we can do, we can move from go 1 to view controller 1, and from go 2 to view controller 2 to create the sage, which is the link between them. So press on the control panel and drag and drop here. Show. It has to show the sage. Where does it go? Yes, here, as you see. And between go to, I'll take it to view controller 2 and show. So I have two sages. By the way, where you put the view controller, it has nothing to do with the design. You can put it here, there, up, down, all is okay. Now I have to click this siege here. It's siege or sieg. I think it's sieg. So I click the sieg here, and I must give identifier. Whatever, I can put any identifier. Let me call it go 1, and the identifier for the second sieg is go 2. Now I need to split the screen. Let me show the view controller. What I need? I need what? This is the main view controller. I need this text as an outlet. Name 1. Connect. Name 2. Connect. I need action for go 1 and action for go 2. Let's start with go 2. Go name 2 and go 1. Go name 2. What's wrong? There's something wrong. Oh, this has to be go name 1. I'm sorry. Let me break the connection and create it again. Go name 1. Now here, let's take view controller 1. For view controller 1, I need view controller 1. This is view controller 1. I need the text field to create an outlet. Txt name 1. That's it. Now here for this view controller, where is it? It's here. No, wait. I need to change to view controller 2. Now I can take the outlet to view controller 2. View, not view, txt name 2. As I told you before, now without writing any code, the navigation is ready. When we run and we click go to, it will lead us to view controller 2. If we click go 1, it will lead us to view controller 1. Just to save little time, let it run. Now here, what I have to do, I have to prepare the 2 seeds. So prepare محمود انزل شوف. انزل شوف الجرس ما سمعته. Prepare controller 1 and view controller 2. Let me go to view controller 1. In view controller 1, can I reach to txt name 1? Let me see. vc1 dot txt name 1 dot text equals welcome plus name 1 I'm not quite sure this gonna work because name 1 is empty, and okay, let me explain why it will not work. Name 1 dot txt sorry, dot text. No problem, we can unwrap it. That's not a problem. And vc2 dot vc2, okay, it's working, no problem. vc2 dot vc2 question mark dot txt name 2 dot text equals welcome plus name. It's already leading us to the navigation tool, but do I need to write any code here if it's already taken us to and view controller 2. The problem is if I don't write any code here, nothing here will be executed. It will be ignored. So what I have to do, I have to create here a variable like var name equals nothing, and here I'll let the name equals name1 or no, name2 dot text. Then I will call the prepare function. How to call the prepare function? I have to write perform seek. Sender means which we send the value from self this class. Now what exactly happening? What exactly happening? Name2, which is this name, which is this variable, equals what the user enters for name2. Then here not, it's just name, and here it's just name. We will take the name and put it in the txt name2. It's still not gonna work. It will not work because when you go to view controller 2, you still need something to tell the view controller 2 Sayed here clicking the button is calling the prepare through the perform seek. This is automatically calling the prepare. You don't need to call it. Let me go to the view controller 1. In the view controller 1, I have the txt name 1. But I can't change the attribute text of the txt name 1 from this view controller. This is not gonna work. So what I have to do, I have to go to view controller 1 and create a variable view controller name equals nothing. And here inside the view did load txt name1 dot text equals the value of vc name. And I'll do the same for the view controller 2. I'll create variable VC name, the same, doesn't matter, equals because they are in different view controller. And here, txt name 2 dot text equals VC name. Now in the view controller, I will not reach the txt name one, no. I will reach the variable. Which variable? VC, where is it? VC name. Why it's not here? I wonder. Okay. It's the same. VC name. Now, VC name, we will change its value by welcome plus the name. What is the name? The name is coming from VC1, which is here. I have to write it. Name equals name 1 dot text and perform sig with identifier. The identifier is go1 self. So the value of the name is coming from name1 or from name2, depend on which button we are clicking. Oh, I already run. Okay, let me run again. Maybe you have many buttons and each button is going to different view controller, and maybe you are taking values, passing values from view controller to another. Maybe you are not. If you are not passing any values, you don't need to create these two functions, not the prepare and not the perform. Name one, go. Welcome name one, it needs to be expanded. Let's go to the main storyboard. Here, it needs to be expanded. And here, where is it? It needs to be expanded. Let's run again. Let's see here. We have tried name 1. Let's try name 2. Suppose the name is Sayed. Go to welcome Sayed. Welcome Sayed. Welcome. Any questions? Yeah. Thanks to Elmi, actually, because she reminds me of the view controller. It's a Kukwa Touch class, not a simple uh, Swift file. That was the problem. Okay, so guys, upon what you learn now, you can create login page or login view controller, login view. The user has to enter the username and password. We need to verify the username and password if they are correct or not, and then if the username and password are correct, we can navigate to the main view controller. If not, we will stop. Each text field that we need to access from the main view controller needs additional variable than the outlets. Yes. Uh, you know what, Sayed? I tried this before and it doesn't work, but I forgot why. So let me try it now. Where? Here. If I try to reach txt name1 dot text directly, let me see if it works or not. Because I remember when I tried it before it didn't work. But why? I don't remember why. Maybe it works now with this version, because that was with an old version of the Xcode. Mm, it didn't work. It didn't work. Okay, yeah. Unexpectedly found nil while implicitly unwrapping an optional value file, line 22 here. Do you see? So txt name 1.text equals welcome. It's empty. It couldn't take the value. So let's start with how I did it. VC name. Any questions before we try the other application? What if we open an old application and add a view controller on it? So when we add the new controller, new view controller, let the new view controller is the main or the startup, and put the login on that view controller. Let's do it. If you already have an application and you want just to add a view controller to that application, like the car rentals, we have created this application in our last day on uh, Friday, right? And it's working correctly. Now I want to show you something here in the main storyboard. Before we create the new view controller, I want you to know something important. How can we indicate the startup one? Do you see this arrow here? This arrow shows or points to the startup view controller. If you change this arrow from here and put it on the other view controller, then that one will be the startup. This is the view controller, right? Here, under the properties, under the title, we have is initial view controller. So the startup is the initial view controller. All what you need is just to click to check or uncheck this. Now, do you see the arrow? The arrow is gone. Now I can't run, by the way. If I try to run my application, it's not gonna run because there is no initial or no startup view controller. Let me create another view controller from here. View controller. This is a new view controller. Put it here. View controller. Put it here. Okay. Now this one, I want it to be the initial. So I click here. Do you see the arrow? That's it. Now if I run, I'll see this white screen because this view controller is the initial one. As this is the initial one, let me create the design of username and passwords. Label. And another label. Text field. and another text field, and a button. This button here is login. This button, very important because we need to create the seek upon this button. Press control button, right click or press control button and drag from the login button to the seek to the view controller here, and that's it. Now the identifier log. What still I need? I need something very important, which is the new view controller. I have to come here and create new file, which is a CocoaTouch class. Next, make sure it's from the view controller. I can call it log in view controller. Next. Create. Now I have the login view controller here. In the main storyboard, I must here the new view controller. I must indicate which class it belongs to from here, the login view controller. Now everything is okay. I can click this button to move me to the other view controller. Let me just change the labels. User name, and password. I need outlets from these two and action from this one in the login view controller. But for the password, I should have an attribute which makes it password. Let me try to find it. Text here is plain, attributed, or plain. If I choose attributed, placeholder, disable, current type, specified field, nickname, job title, password. If I left it plain, I still can choose password. Okay, so it doesn't have to be changed from plain to attributed. You just need to change the current type into password. Now let me split the screen. No, this is not splitting the screen. This is splitting the screen. I need the login view controller. In the login view controller, I will get an outlet as a user name and another outlet as a password. And I need an action. The action is verify. Okay, like this. Now we will need to take the username with us. We don't need to show the username here in the view controller in anywhere, but why we always, by the way, guys, every time you are doing login, you must take the username with you. Why? Because this example is about car rentals. If we are creating a real car rental application, then when we go to the view of choosing the car, finally we have to click the button rent. When we click the button rent, this car which we are choosing will be registered in the database as rented to who? It has to be assigned in the database. It is rented to this username. Because when we create the database, we will take in regards, we will create a table for customers, a table for cars, and a table for renting. Now in the table renting, we will put the username, or maybe if not the username, we can put the ID of the customer and the number of the car. So it known this customer rents that car. So when we are creating a real application, we can take the username with us when we go further in any other view, or if not the username, we can use the username to retrieve the customer ID and take the customer ID with us. Now, as it's something simple, we will take the username with us. How to take the username with us? I will create here a variable for the username. Customer username equals nothing. Here, let me create user. When the user clicks the button, what we need to do? We need to check if the username and password both are correct. So if username dot text equals, what's your username? Again, if we are retrieving data from the database, the first step, we have to retrieve all usernames and passwords from. No, we don't need to retrieve all of them. We can do that by sending a query. I can write here a query, and I send the query to the database. The query is searching for any record with this username and that password. If it's available, if it exists, return back the full details. If not, return null or nil. So here, I don't have a database. I will assume the username is admin, for example, or let's say user 1. If username equals user 1 and passwords dot text equals, what's the password we will use? Suppose it's 1 2 3 4 5 6. If username is correct, password is correct, what we will do? We will perform the seek. Perform seek with identifier. What identifier? It's login self. But before we do this, let's say that user equals user name dot text. And here prepare for seek let vc equals seek dot destination as view controller, which is the old view controller. And then vc dot user customer username equals user. Okay, now if the password or username, any one of them, is incorrect, else what? Else we need to go back to the main storyboard to write else what. In the main storyboard, we have to go here and get a text field extend it. Alignment, middle, color, red, no border, not enabled, and I need to take it to the view control, to the login view controller. Login view controller. It's here. Message MSG. Now I write here MSG dot text equals invalid username or password. Run. Let me come back just a second. So, as you see, we start with the initial view controller. Username is user1. Password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the password is not hidden, which is wrong. Login. Uncaught exception. What is the exception about? What is the exception about? Let me see. The identifier login. Why did I call it something not login? The main storyboard. I remember it was login. What I call it? Log. Oh my gosh. Log, not login. The identifier, not you. The log. The identifier is just log. User 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Login. Okay. So let me, before we say it works, we have to try if the username or password, one of them is incorrect, invalid. Oh, fantastic. So it says username and passwords are incorrect or invalid, and it moved to the second view controller, which means it's going to the SIG is working. The perform SIG is working in anyway. We have to prevent the perform SIG if if we have invalid username or passwords. Why it's working? Because I told you, even we don't have any code, it will go there. Because the SIG, let's go back in the main storyboard. This SIG here is taking from there to here. Class US storyboard, the class is here. The SIG, the SIG, yeah. From the view controller, not from the button. Let me remove the SIG and make the SIG from the view controller, login view controller, not from the button. Now, clicking the button doesn't mean anything because the button is not leading to the other view controller. Let's see. User 1, wrong password, login. Invalid username or password. Okay. User 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Login. Now it's moving here. When you have a connection from the button to the view controller through the SIG, it means if you have a code or if you don't have a code, it will definitely clicking at that button leading to the other view controller. But if you take the SIG from the whole view controller to the second or to the next view controller, then you need a code. And in the code, you must write the perform of the SIG. This code now, this code is very important. Without it, the application cannot navigate to the next view controller. But let me do something. iOS Swift iOS Swift hide the username. Sorry, hide the password. Secure. Password text field dot is secure text entry equals true. If you use an STNS text field, you will not see the checkbox for secure. Instead, using NT text field, use NS secure field. Let me see. has no NS secure text field. Okay. Does it have this one? Has no member text field. Okay. Let me look at the storyboard. Secure text entry. We don't have any secured. Let me check again. NS text field. If you use an NS text field, secure entry. Is secured. Okay, is secured. Okay, let's run. Tomorrow, guys, we don't have a test. I told you, even you find it in the table. I haven't changed it, but there's no mid test tomorrow.